Welcome or welcome back to my channel. My name is Kim and today I'm bringing you an update of my Romanceopoly year-long readathon. This is an update, kind of a quarterly update, as well as how I did in the month of March. So I will pop up a picture of my board. I have roughly read I believe 7 books, 8 potentially, but I'm still working on Malice, so I haven't finished that book, and then I'll also talk about the 8th book. So almost 7, potentially I would have read 8 had I gotten them all done, but yeah, this is, like I said, broken record. It's been an interesting reading year for me. Alright, so let's get into the update of April. I popped up a picture of what the board is currently looking like. Not too bad. Like I said, it is a year-long readathon, so I'm not too worried about getting through, because June and July I will get a lot of reading done, and then hopefully next school year it won't be as hectic and I will get more reading done during that latter part of the year as well. Alright. So also, if you are new to the channel and you like this style of video, please consider subscribing and clicking on the like button. All the engagement helps my channel to grow. So let's get into how I did. The one book that I am going to say goodbye to is from J.D. Robb. This is Obsession and Death. This was for the Space. Sleuth Street. I will put this back into the deck for me to land on again. I gave this book 2 months. I got about 94 pages into it, 94, 95, somewhere around in there. 2 months to read it, and I haven't gotten any further into it. Just not engaged into the book. It's not for lack of me wanting to read it. It's just I'm not into this style of book right now. Again, I gave it 2 months, and I'm still not into it. So I will be passing it on to my free little library to hopefully someone will enjoy it more than I am. So, unfortunately, not for me. So, but I do love Dora Roberts, which is her other pen name. I do love her style writing, and that the romance side of it is just not her murder mystery side, or at least not this particular book. I would consider picking up other books by J.D. Robb and see if that would be more interesting in than this particular novel. It just didn't hit the mark for me, and not all things are hits. It is what it is. Alright, and then like I said, I am 28 pages into Malice. It is kind of a slow start, I will say that, and right now, being that I am struggling reading right now, and have pretty much all of this particular school year, a slow start reading is really hard for me to stay engaged. I really need some fast-paced type of books. So I'm not knocking the book for that. It's really hard to keep my attention on books that are very slow starts. But I am going to push on and give it another month. So like I said, I'm in spring break. So hopefully with having more time available to me and not being so stressed out at work, I don't have those type of obligations right now, that I'll fall more into this book and be able to get it read and enjoy it more and not have my mind in 1,000 different going directions all at once, and really be able to dive into this book and really enjoy it for what it is. Because right now it is a slow burn developing the story, and like I said, I need time on my hands to really enjoy this type of book for this type of setup. And when I'm in the type of environment I am in this particular school year, this type of book is a struggle for me to really dive into and really grasp and enjoy. So hopefully this upcoming week I'm going to be able to enjoy this book and not knock it because I'm stressed out. If you guys know what I mean. So on to the successes. Got through this one. This is Aurora Rising, and I read it this took almost 2 months to read. I did do this one via audiobook, and this was for Bow Boulevard, so I started it in February. It was a rollover from March for Bow Boulevard. I did read it did finish it. I gave it a 4-star rating. I think some of it was kind of repetitive, which didn't happen so much in Illuminate files, so I think that's why I docked it down from a 5-star, because this was, I think, on my predictions of a 5-star rating, because I so enjoyed the Illuminate file series trilogy. So I was a little bit disappointed of how some of the things were kind of repetitive in this one. So did give it a 4-star rating versus 5 stars, but I still highly enjoyed it, and I do want to get the second book and continue the series once I knock out some of the other recent purchases that I have made. I do want to follow up book 2. And then I had a library card, which was a mood read, and I told you guys on the previous video I wasn't sure what I wanted to read. So I put this one in its place. This was Lover Revealed. I think I might have started this sometime in February, and I was rolling it over, so I put it into mood read because I really fell in love with it and I wanted to continue it. So I did finally finish it here at the April 1st. I finally finished it out. I did read most of it through the Scribd app, so audio going to and from work. Love this series. It's, again, I'm trying to read all of the Black Dagger Brotherhood series by J.R. Ward. Love this book. It made me cry. Oh my God, did it make me cry at the end of this book of how it all came about. This one was a tearjerker at the end, but it did have a happily ever after ending, but it was so sad at the end of how it all transpired. But I'm not going to ruin that, but will say it had a happy ending once all of it resolved. Oh, it was so good. Oh my God, it was so good. Yes, highly recommend if you are into vampire romances with edge to it. Highly recommend J.R. Ward's Black Dagger Brotherhood. Did enjoy that one. So that was a library card to pick, which need to make sure I don't have all of them still in the deck, because I think I've had 2 of them already. And then for the last one, for this last section, this was for the BFF house. And I did do this one. This was Jennifer Probst's Meant to Be, and I believe I gave it 5-star rating. I believe it was 5-star. I really enjoyed it. It was so good. It had some heartbreak moments, some sweet moments, some angsty moments. Everything that you would want in a romance book, I believe it had it in it. It was so good. I really did. It was my first book of reading by this author. I would definitely consider reading more from her. It was so well done. I really enjoyed it. All right, so all in all, I wasn't sure if I was going to complete out this TBR, all except for one book, which I need to, again, roll over. We already talked about that. So all in all, I would consider it a successful month. Again, if you're new to my channel, I do not do punishments for not meeting my TBR goals or want to read goals. This is just a guide to get me to read and guide my month of reading. Yeah, so let's get to what potentially I could read for this month. I will do 3 draws because I do this game and then I do my deck of TBR game as well. So that's around 6 books that I potentially could read in a month, more if I in the mood for it. Okay. So yeah, let's get to the drawing, the exciting part of what I potentially could be reading. All right, let's get to it. All right, you guys, I have the board set up, and we are on the Lover's Lane spot. And then I have my 12-sided dice here. So let's get to roll number 1. Whoop. So it is a 12, going 12 spaces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So this is The Office. Alright, so for roll number 1, I got The Office. So I landed on The Office space. And I chose The Perfect Kiss by Lacey Black. This looks like it's part of a series called Mason Creek. So let's see what this book is going to be about. From Malcolm. They say opposites attract, but I never understood the phrase until Lenny Abbott walked into my office, or more specifically, into my office bathroom while I was naked. Even as the pink stained her cheeks and she stuttered to speak, I was completely intrigued. She's unlike anyone I've met before, and wildly enough, seems immune to my charms. She also has a son, a young 5-year-old boy, Trace, who blindsides me with his toothless grin and worms his way into my heart. Together they make me feel things I've never expected. This single mom might not know it, but she could be everything I never knew I wanted. Lenny. I've heard all the rumors about Malcolm Wright, the playboy mayor with a trail of broken hearts left in his wake. I try to resist him, I really do. But he's always there, with those devastatingly gorgeous eyes and a sexy smile full of wicked intent. When he hires my business to clean his impressive house, I know I should stay away, yet find my resolve slipping. Then he meets my son. I fully expect him to run for the hills, but that doesn't happen. In fact, being near Trace only seems to draw Malcolm and I closer. Now there are 2 hearts on the line as I put my trust and faith into the one man in Mason Creek who may not be able to give his own heart in return. So this is an office romance. I can't wait to dive in. I can't wait to see if it's going to have a happily ever after, if there's going to be heartbreak. I don't know. We shall see. So this is book 1 out of for roll number 1. So on my list, on my docket to see what I shall think of it. Off to roll number 2. So roll number 2. And hopefully I can try to keep it on the board this time. All right. Got a double. Roll number 2 was a 12. So another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, which I've already, hold on, let me mark that, the office. All right, so I have already landed on a more, so I need to re-roll, which not bad since I did a 12 already. So I've already landed on a more avenue. So a 1. So landed on a 1, which is Passion Place. So I've not landed on that one. All right, so for roll number 2, I landed on Passion Place. So for that, this was for to read a slow burn or instant heat contemporary romance. So that is what Passion Place is, and I chose Until Mick by Evan Grace. This also, I think, both these romance books were from the Reveal book box that I used to be subscribed to, so I'm finally getting around to some of my contemporary romances that I got from that box. Let's see what Until Mick is about. So Michael Mick Griffin is feeling restless. He's watched all of his brothers succumb to the boom, but it's not for him. Or is it? When the wives and girlfriends of his brother decide to take him to teasers for his birthday, one night changes his life forever. The moment he sees Quinn, he recognizes her as the girl he spent an amazing weekend with while he was on leave 11 years ago. When they meet to talk, she throws him for a loop. They have a daughter together, and she's the identical twin of her beautiful mother. And when he sees her, it's love at first sight. As Mick spends time with Quinn and Macy, he begins to fall deeper in love with both of them, and when a threat presents itself, he'll stop at nothing to protect his girls from anyone that may try to take them away from him. Quinn Hughes has done everything in her life for her daughter. Being a single mother has been hard, but she'd do it all over again for her girl. The night she runs into Michael again, she's so happy to finally be able to tell him about their amazing daughter. To her pleasure, he wants to know Macy and jumps in headfirst into parenthood. Until Mick, Quinn didn't think happy endings existed for her. But as they head towards theirs, a threat from her past tries to tear their happy ending apart. One thing they don't know is that Quinn is a fighter, and that's what she intends to do for her family. All right. So that sounds awesome. I can't wait to dive into it. I love a good struggle from past coming back in to haunt. A future happiness threatens to tear apart a budding romance type of romance. So I can't wait to dive in. I'm struggling to get my words out. This cold is kicking my butt. Off to roll number 3 and see what I get. All right, so roll number 3 in our final roll. And I believe this is a 9. I believe that is a 9. Because I think, is that a 9 or is that a 6? Well, maybe that's a 6 with a dot at this bottom. So maybe that's a 6. And then the 9. Yep, I think that's a 6. I think with the dot there, that means that's a 6. Because it does, I'm used to lines being at the bottom for 6s and 9s, so I think that's a 6. We're going to call it a 6. All right. Let's see where that's going to get us. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And that is spring. Which is good because we are going into spring. And I'll have to figure out what spring is on our sheet, how that is allocated. So roll 3 was spring, and that is where we are ending our rolls. So what did I get for roll number 3? It was the space spring. So let's dive in. So the spring card, this is what I got. It says read a book where either it has green, pink, or an animal on the cover. It could have an unexpected secret pregnancy, so it could be a romance with that. I chose, because I didn't really have any romances that really fit with those. So on my 23 books in 2023, I do have this graphic novel. It has kind of this pinkish color on it. It has an animal. This is the second book in the Complete Cheese Sweet Home series. This is a bind up of, I think, 3 of the graphic novels. So this is part 2 by Kaname Kanata. I absolutely adored the first bind up of, I think, the first 3 novels. So I can't wait to dive in and see what happens in this one. It's very lighthearted. It is absolutely hysterical. If you own cats, if you love cats, anything to do with cats, I think you will love this graphic novel series. You read it just like a traditional English style book, right to left. You don't have to read it like Japanese from back to front. So I do appreciate that. If you're not used to graphic novels, this would be a good way to dive into it. I mean, it's hysterical. The expressions, everything. I can't wait to dive in to see what the antics that are going to go on to this. Lighthearted fun. I need that in my life right now. I can't wait to dive into this. I know it's a chunker, but it's going to be a quick read. I know that once I dive into it. So, can't wait. Great for spring this time of year. I know I'm going to have a blast with that book. Yeah. So I can't wait to do that. That would also help me with my 28 books in 2023. Got 2 great, sounds like 2 great romance books on top of that. So I'm in for a blast with the Romanceopoly book picks. So I can't wait. I think I'm going to have a easy time with this set of books as long as the writing's great on both the other 2 books. Then it should be a breeze to get through those. At least that is my predictions. We shall see if that's true or not. You never know with my mind what I'm going to be in store for. But like I said, with this upcoming week off, I should have time to dive into all of my books. So, yeah. Anyways, give me a thumbs up. Comments down below. What did you think of the picks? If you're involved with the Romanceopoly, what books did you get for this month? How is your reading year going so far? I would love to know all of the things, how you're doing. Anyways, until my next video, you guys, happy reading as always. Bye.